Welcome back to what has rapidly become my most favorite segment of my channel, the OPAR Ranking Update Reveal. Now this pertains to mostly whatever happened in Michigan State, so any updates that we're seeing today is going to be in reference to what took place there. Since there were not as many classes that had adjustments, I figured it would be a little easier to display the classes in which changes did happen. So, for starters, we got the men's right 176, followed by the men's left 198, men's right 220, and the men's super heavies right. Furthermore, the committee had ruled Quinlan Mendez inactive from the left hand only, as the last time that we saw him pull was 3 years ago in Border Wars. And as usual, if anything appears to be in an error, please message your regional committee rep in private, and we will adjust accordingly upon evidence. Now on to the reveal. If by now you guys don't know who Travis Camp is, you better know him real soon, as once again put up a real showing at Michigan State. Now he may not have received a gorilla that day, however, as we see here, he gave the likes of Scott White a real tough match. Previously, Scott White was number 6 in Michigan 198, although this particular event, he went down to 176. But here is why Travis has moved up. We see him making quick work of Michigan's number 4, Manny Ferraiello. Why is that relevant info? Back in the Toledo event in February, Manny had a super match with Mike James, with Manny coming out on top 3-2. So with all that in the equation, the committee has ruled that Travis should be ahead of Mike until they possibly meet in a matchup hopefully in the near future. So as the ranking stands, Travis has moved up to number 8. Really closing the gap on the state's best 176ers. Furthermore, he is normally in the high 160s, and I know that he's had discussions about trying to get to 154, but in my personal take, if he starts embracing that weight threshold and just bulks up a couple of pounds, I foresee him being in the top 4 by the end of the year. This class, we witnessed what may have been the biggest upset in this event. Cody Smith is on a brand new level by defeating Joel Hudick in the straps. As it played out, I think Cody was just one match away from earning a gorilla. His losses were to Michigan's top 198-pounder Dan Bertalka, as well as a real grinder, as we see here with Chris Doucet from Canada. I personally do not know much about Chris, however, he did place both right and left 198, which is exponentially impressive and speaks to Chris's strength and skill. Furthermore, Richard Calero made a kick-ass showing in the 198 lefty. He really impressed us by getting these wins. He is on a new level right now, and at his age, he is not slowing down one bit. Stacy Krupinski, although he only pulled Masters left, he impressed me severely by defeating Chris Doucet in the class. Now, I could only dig up the picture, there's no video footage I was able to find, and I went by the results. But one can make an argument that Doucet may have been beaten up from the open class, but nevertheless, we feel that that victory is meritorious and is enough for Stacy to be in a very reputable spot in the open left. So in light of Stacy's performance by defeating Doucet, we ruled that he's done well enough to be placed above myself and just under Johnny Jarrett at number 8. We know that Cody was to be above Joel, but less than 2 months ago, we saw that Cody took a loss in a super match to Johnny Jarrett, but the philosophy of OPAR has and will always be that we must go by what is most current, and defeating Joel is by far Cody's biggest achievement in his career. And since Richard Calero made a dominating showing and placed above everyone else, including Cody and Joel, in what is known as the toughest state tournament in the country, Calero is now the second best lefty in the state, just behind the one and only Paul Talbot. Grouchy Oliver Metcalf is back on the active list. He had a very tough draw in Michigan State, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do now that he is aboard the table train. If you're not fast enough, his top roll can devastate you. So for now, we think a safe baseline for Grouchy is number 9, just below Mike Sayer. I would love to see those two pull. Well, Supers, we have a new contender in the house, Josh McInturf. You know, once I saw him defeat Cameron Smith, that's when I knew how legit he was, and Cameron himself had a very impressive showing that day. Josh earned himself a bronze gorilla that day, and in this tournament, if you earn any gorilla, you are a threat to even the best in the state, even amongst in the nation. Although no footage was uncovered, we did see in the results that Brian Vollmer won his amateur division, which made him break into the top 20. So with all that said, at this time, we think Josh is best placed at number 4. Toddzilla may be in his own league, but these monsters ranked 2 through 5 really need to have a round robin. But thankfully, in June, we get to see TJ Slayton take on Michael Crawford. Thank you all so much for joining me in this reveal, as well as all of your support. What OPAR ranking matchups would you all like to see? Let me know in the comments below. This is your arm wrestling underdog. Let's continue to beat those odds.